Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday night. It's about 10 after 10, a little past that, on another wonderful Sunday night. And if you saw, oh, I got a haircut. Did not shave yet, though. I'll do that later. Anyway, it's your friend Keith Shake. CK Power. Crazy Keith. Mr. Free Everything. And insecurity is it's a tough subject for some people. But I'm working on a couple things in my life, and one of the challenges that I have, and one of the accomplishments I'm trying to do is to do a video and talk about insecurities. It's supposed to be more about, I think, my own insecurities and how I overcome my own insecurities. I never really thought about it that way. I'm sure I do have some, and I'll give you some examples of things in my life that I was insecure about and how I did overcome them. I'm going to give you that at the end, so you got to hang around till the end. But before I get to that, I'm going to give you some tips on how to overcome your insecurities, how to boost your confidence, how to boost your self-esteem. There's lots of different things out there. There's lots of different options. There's lots of different thoughts on how to do this. Excuse me. I read a couple of articles over the last few days. Different confidence experts, communications experts, doctors, psychologists, and I got this from a couple different articles. I put it together. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just giving you some tips that I learned from researching, and I'm just going to read them out to you. I'm going to check with my notes. Hey, Maria, good evening. So let's get into this. First of all, what is insecurity? Insecurity is when you're uncertain or have anxiety about yourself, about oneself. It's a lack of confidence. You might think you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you're just not good enough, period. It's normal to have down days where you feel like, you can't do anything right. I can't talk right now. But feeling insecure about yourself all the time can take a toll on every aspect of your life, from your physical health to your relationships, to your emotional well-being, how you perform at work, how you do your business, everything in life. So you don't want to get stuck into that so that you're doing it feeling that way all the time. Kyle, what's going on, SL? How you feeling, baby? Insecurity is something that everyone has experienced at some point or another in their life. Even the most confident person in the room has an insecurity about something. The thing about insecurity is that it has the power to hold us back in all areas of life. And the culprit can be totally little things, like worrying about whether or not you're wearing the latest, chicest clothes, or the really big life stuff, like negotiating for a higher salary, or even staying in a toxic relationship because you don't believe that you deserve to be happy or deserve something more. Although there are many reasons that can explain how a sense of insecurity is cultivated, according to one of the confidence experts, some common examples include growing up in an environment that didn't feel emotionally safe, experiencing a traumatizing incident that provided negative feedback to you, getting dunked made you think that you weren't lovable, bombing a presentation in middle school got you afraid of public speaking. But insecurities aren't set in stone. They're not there forever. They aren't something that can't be fixed, not fixed, but can't be changed or molded. Maureen, what's going on? You can overcome them, no matter how big or how small they are. Doing so just takes some work on yourself, a plan of action. Regardless of what your insecurities tell you, like we said earlier, that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not big enough, blah, 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 blah. We are all inherently enough. You are enough, period. But if you aren't taking that to heart and you want some tips, let's get on here. So the good news is there are lots of ways to build up your self-esteem, get confident. And while it won't happen overnight, just like everything else that we talk about, or that I talk about, building a business, being successful, getting bigger in the gym or getting leaner, it doesn't happen overnight. All right, it takes time, but with the right strategies, the right mindset, you can take those steps towards changing the way you feel about yourself and getting more confident, better self-esteem. So number one, don't judge yourself. Feeling insecure is hard enough, but beating yourself up for having those emotions in the first place won't do you any good. So as a starting point, You have to stop self-judging yourself. Accept the fact that you feel insecure about something and focus instead on doing the work to shift away from that. A little self-love can go a long way. Number 2, be your own best friend. Say things to yourself that your BFF or anyone else who really loves you would say to you when you're majorly doubting yourself. If you're applying, so for example, if you're applying for a new job, instead of telling yourself, oh, I'm never going to get this job, or I don't have the experience for this, or they're not going to like me, think about what your best friend or that loved one would say to encourage you, telling you that, you're amazing, you're talented, you can do this, you're more than qualified. You should definitely apply for that job. Basically, get yourself pumped up because you deserve it. Number 3, focus on the baby steps. Overcoming insecurity is a journey. We just talked about that a few seconds ago. It doesn't happen overnight. Take the pressure off yourself. Start making progress by taking little steps. Build up your confidence. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. You hear people talk about comfort zones all over the place. It's all over the internet. And people have that area, that zone, their comfort zone, where while they're in there, they're 100% fine and comfortable and perfect and nothing can bother them. But once you put one little toe out of that zone, whoa, things get... All right? If social insecurities are a struggle of yours, begin by saying hi to somebody on the street, or talking to somebody if you go to a party or a get-together or a gathering. Just pick one person and have a conversation with them. Those small steps will eventually give you the confidence to do bigger, more scarier things outside your comfort zone. Number 4, cut out the people who make you feel less than you are. We've talked about this before in some of my videos about getting those negative people, the negative-minded, negative talkers out of your life. Same thing applies here. The ones that don't make you feel good, the ones that make you feel less than you really are, get rid of them. All right? Pay attention to who feeds your insecurity or who lifts you up to try to get you out of your insecurities. If you have a friend that's always bringing you down, it might be time to distance yourself from that person. When you need advice and support, go to the people who always cheer you on and genuinely want to see you win. Number 5, pay attention to your body language, because body language shows a lot as well. Insecurity can manifest itself in physical ways, such as the way you stand or the way you sit, if you scrunch up or lean away. When you assume that kind of position, it sends a message to other people and they can see it. I don't want to talk to you, or I don't want to be seen. You're trying to be subconsciously make yourself smaller, even if you're not being aware of it sometimes. So simply sitting up straight, standing up tall and strong can make you feel more confident. Physicality, your physicality, how you act with your physicality can affect your mentality. Hey Zeta Lee, what's going on, girl? Number 6, celebrate your wins. When you do overcome an insecurity, make sure you acknowledge it. Whether you spoke up at work or expressed how you felt to your partner, make sure you celebrate even the smallest things that you've done to step into your power and totally crush your insecurities. This creates momentum and elevates your confidence like crazy. Number 7, toot your own horn. When you are knee-deep in a puddle of insecurity, it's easy to forget truly how awesome you are. Keeping a list handy of all the compliments that you've ever received from people is really helpful. Take stock of the things that you're good at and the good qualities that you have, and spend some time focusing on what makes you special, and keep those high vibe thoughts at the forefront of your mind. Lisa, what's going on? Number 8, change your mind's story. Those repetitive negative thoughts that are constantly playing over and over again inside your mind, you have to put a stop to that immediately. Change the story that you're telling yourself. Often, your inner voice that you're hearing is not even your own. It may be something you heard in society, maybe you heard from your parents when you were growing up. Being aware of your own thoughts, regardless of where they originated from, is the first step to detaching from them and creating space to tell ourselves our new, more empowering story. All right, so change your mind. Number 9, tap on it. Now this is completely alternative. All right, I don't know anything about this, but there's something called an emotional freedom technique, which is also known as tapping, which the article said is a powerful tool for breaking through insecurity. It's a non-conventional or alternative method, healing modality, a combination of ancient Chinese acupressure and positive psychology to help reprogram your limiting beliefs that make you feel stuck by literally tapping on specific points on your face and your body. And number 10, consult an expert. If things are that bad, if you're that down, if none of these other tips and the people around you can't lift you up enough, it's an ongoing problem that's taking a toll on your life, go see somebody. Go talk to somebody, an expert, a therapist, a coach, somebody that can help you explore those fears, explore those insecurities. Once you understand where your insecurities are coming from, how they've affected you, then you can really transform your life. It's really about changing your mindset from the inside, bringing it out. So those are 10 tips. How to build confidence, how to build self-esteem. Tony, what's going on? The one thing I didn't say, if you're jumping on, let me know. Say hi, drop a comment. Let me know where you're seeing this from. If you're seeing a replay, tell me it's all the replay. I appreciate it. I told you at the end, after the tips, I'd give you a little bit about myself. And, thinking back to my childhood, being in like high school, I wanted to play football. I always loved the sport of football. But I was always a small, skinny kid. And I remember going into the gym for tryouts. Well, it wasn't for the tryouts. It was going into the gym to sign up for tryouts. And you had a 3x5 card, and you had to put all your information on there. And I looked around the room, and I looked at all these big, massive kids, and I was like, I'm not the size of any of these kids. And I walked out. I didn't even fill the card out and hand it in. I was insecure about myself and my size, and that I couldn't compete and do what they were going to do on a football field. At the time, I didn't think of it, but now I know. I found an alternative, which was somehow I got into wrestling, because I used to like watching wrestling back in the day, the WWE and the NWA. And wrestling went by weight class. It didn't matter what your body size was, or how strong you were, how big you were. It went by weight class. So if you fit in a weight class, you're in the same weight class. You're going against people in your weight class that were the same as you. So that was my alternative to football. So that fixed that. Now I know it was an insecurity back then. I didn't think of it that way, but now I know. As a young adult, in college, had to do a speech for like a public speaking class. Had to stand in front of the room and do the speech. Guess what? I failed. Never did it. I was insecure about getting up in front of the room and talking in front of and that was only a room full of like 20 or 30 people. But I just, whatever the insecurity was, that I just couldn't do it, I didn't do it, and I ended up failing, and that hurt me there. Hey Lola, what's going on? Also, as a young adult, or as an adult, another stage, these videos, when I do my videos, the pre-recorded ones that I just post up there, and especially the lives, all the time, and I get this from people that ask me, how do I do these videos? I get nervous, all right? Sometimes you just have to hit that button and go. The pre-recorded ones, sometimes I might do one or two takes, maybe 3 if it didn't sound right to myself, because I want things to be perfect. I want things to sound right, and be valuable to someone that's going to see it, even the funny ones. But when you do the lives, there's no second takes. You just got to hit that button and start talking. Sure, people think, and I think, well, what if nobody watches it? What if nobody likes it? Nobody comments? Nobody comes on board and takes a look? Do I suck? You think, am I that bad that somebody isn't going to look at my video? Patricia, what's going on? Grace, good evening. Jojo, what's up, brother? I'm not as good as the pros out there, the people that are already ultra successful that do these videos all the time, but they do the same thing. Some of them get nervous out there. Some of them get insecure about doing that video, but they just do it. And that's what I do. And I hope people get value out of it. And I hope eventually it gets seen by more and more people. So there's some ways that I was insecure. Even now, when I go to the gym, and over the years, I've always looked at other guys in the gym, even some women, and I was like, wow, look at that body, look at the definition, look at the muscles, and look at the size that they have, look at how strong they are and the weight that they can put up. I can't do that. I'm not as big as them, I'm not as defined as them. I can't push. I'm not as strong as them. I can't push the weight that they're pushing. What's up, Stacy? But I just keep going back in there, and I'm not an expert trainer. I'm not an expert nutritionist, but I keep going back in there, and I do my videos, and I try to keep myself accountable and put some inspiration out there for other people to see. The First Form 8-week challenge, I've been through it twice. Never fully committed myself either time. Now I'm in my third 8-week challenge, and this is, today was day 14 for me, so 2 weeks down, 6 more to go. I'm committed to this challenge. Now, I've got some things coming up in the near future that are going to kind of hinder me from actually working out, but I'm going to work around that. But I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to work out right. Whew. So that's another thing that, going into the gym, those of you that want to start some kind of program, you can't be insecure or feel that you're not confident because you're looking at these other people that are putting up 200 pounds and have these big muscles and things like that. It's what you are. It's your body. It's your start. It's your beginning. It's the beginning of your transformation. So whether it's to build confidence, build self-esteem, I hope these tips helped to get into the gym and get stronger or leaner or fitter, whatever the case might be. It's baby steps. Start from the beginning. Start with you and what you can do and gradually work yourself forward. So my friends, I hope you got some value out of that. It's going a little bit longer than I expected it to, but thanks for hopping on, everybody. Again, hit the like, hit the love, drop a comment. Share it out there if you think somebody else can get value out of it. And I hope to see you all soon. Have an awesome night. Go get it, baby.